on the Canelo broadcast, starting with Errol Spence. They did a pretty lengthy, like 4 or 5 minute interview with Errol Spence, during which he mentioned that he didn't seem that interested. Now this could be just posturing in terms of negotiating the potential fight with Errol Spence, which is the only fight anyone wants to see him or Terence Crawford in. Terence Crawford and Errol Spence is what I meant. But so Errol Spence during the interview said that he wasn't that bothered if the Crawford fight doesn't happen, and that he thought it should be 60-40, maybe 70-30 in his favor. That he was by far the A side. Just curious if you noticed that and if you had any thoughts on it.
Yeah, no, of course I noticed it, and I understand the fans out there. Some of them are going to say that by doing that, maybe he doesn't want the fight because he's going to make it difficult. Fans on Crawford's side are probably going to say, hey, he's at that much instead of 50-50, then maybe he doesn't want the fight. And then he mentioned, of course, and before he got off, he mentioned that he liked to fight Canelo. So that gives even more fuel to the fire that maybe he doesn't want the Crawford fight, or he doesn't think it could be made when he wants it to be made, and he's looking at his options and he's trying to build those options and talking about a Canelo super fight where he could retire if he could get that fight. Canelo's too big for him, but if you start playing with it and you start talking about it long enough, the fans will start believing it, and start saying, oh, I walk around at 160 or whatever. They start saying that. I crunch down to welterweight. I'm a huge welterweight. I could easily fight at middleweight. Yeah, then all of a sudden, who knows? You could get, some people could start to buy into it, that could be a feasible fight. That could be a fight. And then you forget about Crawford. So he's doing business a little bit there. He's looking out for himself. Who knows who else is advising him in that direction? And listen, ultimately, at the end of the day, Ken, Crawford's not free right now, really. Well, really, if you're going to be fair, neither one of them are free to fight each other because, Spence is with Heyman and PPC, and Crawford is with Top Rank and ESPN. And, I don't think, I don't know if the fans know this, but Heyman and Aram, they don't like each other at all. Maybe hate might be fair. I don't know. But for that fight to happen, it would have to be such an astronomical fight for the both promoters to say that they would allow them to fight each other without having full control, where they could make enough money, where if they lost the fight, it'd still pay off for them. Kind of like a Pacquiao Mayweather scenario, where there was so much money in the universe that you couldn't say no to it. Either that, or it's more on Crawford's side, I guess, because he's got X amount of months left on a contract with Top Rank. The last one that he signed, where he got paid extra money to renew the contract, and that's going to run out sometime in 2021. And whether it's 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, whatever it is, he would have to wait, it seems, for that to run out, where he could walk across the street to PPC, make a deal with Heyman, where one of the fights in part of that deal would obviously be the Spence fight. So right now, that's pretty much where it is.